is a regular black girl? What do people mean when they say regular black girl? Oh, you just a regular black girl. And so I went and looked at some synonyms for the word regular, and some of the synonyms are normal, typical, natural, regular. And these are some of the words that pop up. And when I hear those words, I'm like, what makes a black girl average, typical, regular? Yeah, there's a lot of us. And if you live in the majority black community, I could totally understand how you can see blackness as normal, because that's all you see around you. That is your normal. You know what I mean? But a lot of the people, in a lot of places, see blackness as exotic. Take it from somebody who's actually lived overseas a lot. Like, I lived in Okinawa, I lived in Poland, Germany, and I'm telling you, when I went to all of these places, they were exotifying me to the max over there in those other countries. Yeah, there's a lot of racist people, but there's racist people everywhere. But then there's those people who are just so fascinated with blackness. Do y'all know when I was living in, I think it was Poland, and I went to the malls out there, there was Kanye West posters, like, everywhere. Like, they love them some Kanye West over there. He was on the billboards. Like, it's something about Kanye West that they love, but it's the blackness. Like, people don't look at blackness as regular in other countries, unlike black people in America, because it seems like it's only black people in America that see blackness as regular. And a lot of people in my comment section will even try to use that as a humbling tactic to try and humble me, I guess, and just say like I remember when I had first started showing my face, when I had reached 10K, and I remember there was like some people trying to gaslight and saying, oh, you're just a regular black girl, you're not an exotic black girl. And you know, they're using the word exotic, not exotical, getting the two words very confused, even though if you are black and you're monoracial, you can still be exotic in other countries. But the difference between exotic and exoticals are black. We have black in us. There's mixed race, and then there's monoracial exoticals. Exoticals is describing someone who has a mixture of blackness in them, because that's what the common denominator in all exoticals is our blackness. Whether you're half black, a quarter black, 90% black, you could still be an exotical. What makes someone an exotical is if you benefit from colorism, texturism, or featureism. And the reason why that is because women who benefit from one of these isms they have a completely different black experience than the unambiguous black person. So we have two different experiences, even though we're both black, right? And there's a lot of issues in the community because of these isms that these particular, what we call exotical people, benefit from. And it's like, because we benefit from these things, at the same time, we get a lot of hate from the people who are in our community who don't benefit from them. Yeah, a lot of it's jealousy, but a lot of it just stems back from slavery days, and people who benefited from isms got treated better by massa, and it goes way back to history days. And the reason why we have this community online, for those who are new, is because for so many years we have felt ostracized from our own black people who think we're better than them because we have these isms. And we just have a different experience that we can't help, because we can't help how we were born. We can't help how we look. You know, we do have a completely different experience than unambiguous black people, even though we're all black. But you know, for the last 15 years, the internet streets, the YouTube streets, were dominated by the unambiguous black community with, their platforms. Chrissy, for example, Dark Skin TV, Rashida, all these content creators, what they call the black empowerment space. And, for so many years, they populated the YouTube streets. And Exoticles, we couldn't relate, but we could definitely sympathize. And, a lot of us did, and we followed and supported these channels and watched their channels and everything. But a lot of the times when we would come in to support, give our commentary or comments, or even try to be like, we understand, because we also go through colorism from a different perspective, and we got backlash from that, and then pushback, and we weren't accepted anymore into those communities. And so it's like, where do we fit in? We're black, because people don't understand, as Exoticals, we get a lot of, when we do get hate, it's a lot of hate from not only non-black people, but black people as well. And y'all gotta remember, we are still black. Exoticals are black. Exotic and exotical, two different meanings. Okay? So y'all gotta understand that when people keep trying to come for, like, because I always tell you guys, I'm a monoracial exotical. But people always, like, who are new to the channel, they have to learn and watch some old videos and learn about me. But when they first come on one of my channels and judge and all, and how they judge right away and make a comment, a triggered comment or whatever. And one of the things they like to say is, you're not even exotic looking. And when they say that, I know what they mean, because in a lot of unambiguous people's minds, exotic is only like the Latina women, the women from Puerto Rico, and they have a certain phenotype, and they state what they see in their head when they think exotic. They see the word exotic, and that's what they see. That stereotypically, especially in the black community, because that's what they fetishize, right? But in the exotical space, we're a little bit more nuanced and more broad than that. And we are specifically, like, our common denominator is our blackness. So a lot of us do look black, but we also have other features mixed, like type 3 or type 2 hair, and you have dark skin, or you have keen features with, loose textured hair, or you're light skin with 4C hair. We just have all these different mixture of features because we do have admixture of other races, is the reason why we, have these different features in the first place, which is why we benefit from certain isms. And it's not our fault that we benefit from them. We're just acknowledging our privileges, because for so long people were saying we weren't acknowledging our privileges, so now we are. But it's still a problem. So Exoticals, we have this experience where it's like, damn if we do, damned if we don't, with anything that we do. Even if we're acknowledging and recognizing, and we were listening to them, and we're doing that, we're forming our own spaces too, and that still seemed to be a problem. So it's like, we never felt accepted by our own people, no matter what we do. So it's healthy for us to have our own space. Other people are coming over here and trying to start drama over here because they want us to shut down, they want us to close our channels, they don't want to hear it, because a lot of us we do trigger people. Let's just keep it real. We do trigger people because we do benefit from the isms, and we are still black, but we benefit from things that they don't. And that just, we can't help how we were born. Unfortunately, we can't help how history was written during slavery, how they separated us on purpose. And we all knew that they separated us on purpose, and yet still we have this mindset, of separation. And Exoticals, we don't want to be separated, but we felt like we didn't have a choice. Yeah, if y'all have been following us for any of the last 5 years, you already know the timeline. The last 10 years, how before the exotical space even existed, there was a few light-skinned channels, a few exotical channels here and there, but they wouldn't last long. So this is like the first time that, and then we have not only the light-skinned perspective of blackness, but it's the brown-skinned exoticals, because they have an experience with, it's like we're so broad and nuanced over here, and I love that. I love how we have a sisterhood for real. We support each other, we help each other, you know, and we're just talking to we're just helping each other and giving each other level up tips on how to be better women in general. Like, that's amazing. And there is no other space like this on YouTube. But people want to bash us so badly, like make us seem so negative. But a lot of it is just really projection. Because it's like, I don't know, it's projection. We're not harming anyone. You know, YouTube is free for everybody. But the regular black girl thing, first of all, I think all black women are unique in their own way. Whether you're exotical black, unambiguously black. But our common denominator with each other is we are all still black. We're just sharing our experiences in a safe space because we're not allowed to do it on any other spaces. Because it's like we're not allowed to have any type of, it's like we're not human or something. We're not allowed to have traumas and experiences because they're not as bad as unambiguous black people. So it's like the, what did they call Olympics? The oppression Olympics. It shouldn't be like that. Who has it worse should be the one who should be only the one talking about their traumas. No, talking about your traumas no matter what level, because there is levels to trauma. No matter what levels, still needs to be talked about because we're all still human. We're all going through our own journeys and experiences. And you can't, measure somebody's traumas. Like, y'all know that they say God won't put something more than on you than you can bear. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses, and God won't put more than on an individual than they can bear. So we can't measure each other's traumas. We are going through our own things for a reason. And just because somebody's experience isn't as bad as the other person, y'all know what I'm trying to say? That doesn't mean that the other person shouldn't speak about what they've been through. That's what the Exotical space is for, so we can have our own voice. This space has helped a lot of women in a lot of ways with their confidence, with knowing who they are and realizing why people were treating them so badly, and understanding the fetishes that come with being an exotical black woman, mixed race, whatever exotical you are. We have a particular experience that we can all relate to, that we can't relate to with the unambiguous experience. This space isn't meant to hurt anybody. It's meant to actually help a group of women who have a particular experience. I hope y'all can understand that. Just because you can't relate to exotical content, that shouldn't offend you. It just means you just can't relate to it. You know you're an exotical if you can relate to anything that we're saying. Maybe you all can relate to my pretty privileged content more because my pretty privileged content is more universal. But when I talk about the Exoticals content, that's targeted to more women who benefit from the isms, who have blackness in them. And the isms are colorism, texturism, or featurism. Colorism, meaning if you're light skinned. Texturism, if you have type 3 hair, type 2 hair, or what they call good hair. If you get told that you have good hair, you benefit from texturism because you may be dark skinned with broad features, but if you have type 2 hair, you're gonna be pedestalized. You're gonna have a completely different black experience. And if you benefit from features, I think featurism is probably bigger than colorism in my opinion, but that's a whole other conversation. But if you benefit from featurism, you have keen features. You don't have Afrocentric features, because in the black community, black features are looked at as unattractive. So we can't seem to shake that for some reason. But yeah, so those are the isms. So if you have keen features, good hair and light skin, they would put you at the top of the hierarchy, because there is this hierarchy in the Black community. So you would be at the tippy top of the hierarchy if you have like green eyes, the good hair, light skin, and then, as you, like, if you have all three of the isms, and if you only have two of the isms, you're at the second top of the hierarchy. And it just, y'all know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how the Black community operates. I don't know. They will even humble you as an exotical with an exotical who has a little bit more isms than you. This is a humbling tactic that they use on us all of the time. And it's like, why do we have to humble each other with our features and stuff? We cannot control these things. We cannot do that. So to call somebody a regular Black girl, there's more unambiguous Black people in the community in America than there is exotical Black women in the community. So we're kind of the minority group of the Black community. We have this small space on YouTube, and we're making so many people mad. I don't know why we're making anybody mad at all. We got our own space for a reason, right? But I don't know. But to call somebody a regular Black girl just insinuates that you look unambiguous. They're trying to say you look unambiguous. You look like a regular Black girl. That's what they're trying to say. They're trying to humble you, because there's this hierarchy, remember? You got to even understand, if you call somebody who's unambiguous dark skin, and you actually say that they're dark skin, you say that they're dark skin. You call them dark skin because that's what they are. They will get offended by that. They're like, I'm not dark skin. I'm like one shade lighter than such and such. I ain't dark skin. Like, they don't get offended. Like, nobody wants to be unambiguously Black or dark skin. Like, that's offensive. And y'all gotta understand also, the skin bleaching industry is $1 billion industry. The hair industry is $1 billion industry. And why is that? And who is buying the majority of this stuff? It's Black people. And don't get it twisted, white girls wear weave too. That's not what I'm saying here. But we gotta look at the statistics. I went to ChatGPT again, and I asked it, what are the statistics of Black people buying hair products than white people? And the current data shows that Black women spend substantially more than white women on hair care. And the report indicates about Black women spend 4 times more on hair care than Caucasian women, was 21%. And it says allocating over 25% of their monthly budget to hair care, compared to just 5% of white women. So we spend more of our money on hair care products, so we contribute more of that money. And why is that? I wear weave as well. We all do. We all love to play with our hair, but we gotta really sit down and think, like, because I'll be the first one to tell y'all. Y'all know I have my natural hair without a relaxer is type 4. I have a mixture of like 4A and B, and a mixture of type 4A, B, and C. So I had got a relaxer, and y'all know my texturism story. When I basically got a relaxer when I was in 2nd grade. My mom put one in my hair, and I was having issues with my hair growing up. I dealt with racism, and I grew up with an inferiority complex about my hair. So basically, I was very insecure about my hair type. And I would wear a relaxer throughout my school years, and when I got older, I think it wasn't up until I was in my freshman year of college is when I started to study the pros and cons of being natural, and learning about natural hair and how it's healthier and better. And I ended up going natural. So I went natural basically in my life 3 times. I've attempted to go natural 3 times, and anybody with type 4 hair knows it's very difficult to manage. You love it, but it's just so difficult to manage. It really is. And my hair dries so fast, like nothing works. It's bad when you're hairstylists, more than one, have told you to get a relaxer when I try to get them to help me do my natural hair, because that's how thick it is. They just didn't know what to do with it. None of the products would absorb. Like, I was like, what's going on with my hair? So I always had this thing with my hair. And so I know what it is. It's frustrating. It really is. So, I found a loophole, and it works because my hair is growing. I might do an update on my hair length soon. But, because I was natural like 2 years ago, the last time I went natural. And so for the last 2 years, I've been rocking a relaxer. And then I rock clip-ins. And what I do, I match my clip-ins to my relaxed hair, so it blends. Like, I wear kinky, what is it called, yaki perm hair texture, because it matches with my perm. And it costs me like, I think a pack is like $13. It's synthetic hair, so I wear synthetic hair. So it works for me. I'm not wearing lace fronts and gluing my edges, and cause my edges are long and healthy. A lot of women don't be having edges because they don't take care of their natural hair. With, like, if they want to wear like lace fronts and stuff, like, you gotta take care of your natural hair if you want it to grow. So that's what I've been doing. So I wear clip-ins, so I have like 50% of my hair out, because I leave, it's like a partial, so I leave some of it out at the top, but the bottom, because I just want length for real. I think all women, we naturally want length. I think that's just the feminine thing in our heads, that we just want length. No matter what texture our hair is, we just want length. So, I get the length thing. But, there's some women who will actually want to completely change the texture of their hair entirely. Like, because I don't get the Indian hair, what are the other types of hair you can get? Like, it looks like it doesn't grow out of your own scalp. Like, if you have yaki perm, it looks like it could be your hair, because black women wear perms. It looks more natural than if you get like Indian hair, because the texture of the hair is more silky. And black people don't naturally have silkier hair, right? Type 2 ladies, can you clarify me on that? Can you help me with that? Like, do y'all hair type, like, if you have type 2, type 3 hair, do y'all have silky hair like the Asian women? Because if not, it doesn't look natural, and people will know it's not your hair. So that's the only thing I have against the whole weave thing, is if it don't look like it grows out of your scalp, or I don't know. That's just me personally. I feel like the point of beauty enhancements is to make it look like you're not wearing any. That goes for makeup and everything.
Really? You wore makeup when you were my age? Uh-huh. Only my mom taught me that the secret to wearing makeup is to make it look like you're not wearing any. Well, how do you do that?
Yeah, how do you do that?
Well, by bringing out DJ's natural beauty.
Less is more, because the point is to enhance what you already have, not to add what you don't have. A lot of people will wear their makeup like a drag queen, and drag queens try to make themselves look like a girl. That's why they have all the extra makeup on. If you already have feminine soft features or pretty features, all you gotta do is put some, I don't even do eyelashes. I don't know, I just don't play with them. That's just me personally. I'd rather do like, some long mascara or something. But, the point is just to enhance what you already have. Like, because then people can't tell, and then it's like, oh, that's, you can't tell. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's something about the effortless look that just, I love it. But to each his own. You can do whatever you want to do. But to try a humble and exotical and just call her a regular black girl is just kind of like offending yourself in a sense. Because it's like, oh, you're just regular. You're not exotic. But yes, you are. Even if you are an unambiguous black woman, you are exotic. If you go to another country, if you get out of your monoracial environment and go somewhere else, people love dark skin. People love that. The only people who don't love that is black people. Black people are the only ones who have this mindset and racist. But racists, they got their own problems. But the black community is sad because we don't like our own features. Exoticals, we love our features, but we get hated for that. And I don't know if it's just jealousy because a lot of black people don't love themselves the way that they look. I will never forget, I had this crush on this boy, unambiguous black guy. He was short, like he was maybe an inch shorter than me, but I had a huge crush on this guy. But I could tell he was very insecure. But he was unambiguous with broad features and everything. But I don't know, I found him very attractive. But I could tell he had like low self-esteem because he always walked with his head down. You know how people carry themselves when they have low self-esteem, and he carried himself that way. And I would even try to engage with him and talk with him, and he was just so like shy and quiet and stuff. Like, but I was like, and I would even try to give him compliments and stuff, just kind of like hinting and all of that. But I can tell he was very like, I don't know. I can tell because even on social media, you know how you look at each other's stories and interact. Like, we had that type of thing going on, both introverted. But I could just tell it was something about him not feeling confident. And it's just the saddest thing because I feel like black men are the most attractive men on the planet, in my opinion. Like, unambiguous black men are some of the most attractive group of men, in my opinion. And I feel like a lot of them don't see themselves that way. That's why they don't like dark-skinned women. A lot of them don't want to date dark-skinned women, and they can say all they want to say about the reasons why, but a lot of it is projection. We are a reflection of ourselves. How we see other people is how we see ourselves, and y'all know the whole spiel. So a lot of it is low self-esteem, and it stems back from slavery, y'all. We were called all kinds of names because of the way that we look, and we're still dealing with it. We carried it on, and we're still dealing with it. Like, we have to learn how to love ourselves. If we can start there, we can get along. I feel like all this colorism, ism stuff will go away, and we can all get along and see each other as a community. Like, I feel like it shouldn't be like this, but it is. So calling yourself dark skin isn't offensive. Calling somebody a regular black girl shouldn't be an insult or a humbling tactic, because we're all unique and we're all beautiful. But I hope this message makes sense to y'all. I just went off the fly with this one, but I don't know, it just came as a download, and I was like, I have to talk about this because people keep using it as a humbling tactic towards monoracial exoticals like myself. Because I'm not mixed race, they're trying to humble me, because this is a humbling tactic that they use all the time with exoticals. Try to humble us with the hierarchy system. Like, it's so sad. Like, if somebody is a shade lighter, they'll say the lightest girl is prettier, that they'll compliment the lighter girl and say she's prettier. I've been through all kinds of bullshit. Like, I've had it done to me, and I've had it done to somebody, and they used me because I'm like right in the middle. So there's this hierarchy. I'm trying to tell you, I've been in the middle. I've been where somebody tried to use me to humble somebody else, and somebody used somebody else to humble me because they were lighter than me. But maybe I was lighter than the other person, or with keener features than the other person. That's what happened. So it's so sad that we do that to each other. Like, blackness is not ugly, y'all. All right, but let me know what y'all think, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Thank you for listening.